I was saying Lola was horrible when we were younger. Like when me and Titi, me and myself and Titi and Thomas, barely Thomas because Thomas was always still like a baby in Dean Court. But myself and Lola wasn't helpful. Lola was wicked and cruel. She was bossy. She was mean. And the time that we needed her and we needed her to help us, she was always absent. She wasn't around. She was always helping somebody else's business and in someone else's business, helping somebody else in a neighborhood. Some other person, maybe Erica got pregnant and she was running in the street being Erica's best friend. She's always concerned with other people and other people's business, standing around other people. Toyin will be outside talking. Lola won't ever help her own sisters with their own problems. And then when we moved to Irif, when she was in Durham, we didn't hear from her. She never called us during the whole time she was in Irif. She didn't pick up the phone and speak to her siblings. She didn't speak to me. And then she came back home to all the way. She came back from Durham to Irif. And when the families broke up, Lola didn't speak to myself or Titi. We didn't know anything about her life and what she was doing. Lola always acted as if she was independent, as if like she didn't care or need anybody. And then when she needed somebody, but she didn't do anything to help us. Wouldn't it make sense, right? If you are, and that's just another thing about Lola that used to piss me off, right? That pisses me off. She's always late to topics that are actually important to our community. So racism has always been something that our community has been facing, right? But we just it's something. When Black Lives Matter started, I knew about Black Lives Matter 5 years before Lola. When the heat of Black Lives was developing and people were getting shot down and killed, this is old news. This is old news. And then one day I see Lola. This was back in 2020, and she's like, "Yeah, Black Lives Matter, man. Black Lives Matter." I'm like, what? This is old news. This is stuff that happened in Lambeth. People getting arrested, people being wrongfully arrested, minding their own business, going about their day and being spoken to by police. And 20 years later, now she's marching and saying Black Lives Matter when she's always wanted to act as if she's separate and she's not. She's separate from race and whatever. Lola is not loyal. Lola's not a loyal person. Let me tell you how Lola was not a loyal person, yeah? Lola started calling Pedro mum when she came back from Durham and she was pregnant. And she called Pedro mum to like disarm Pedro. Because they were beefing, I think, in Durham and they didn't have a good relationship anyway. And Lola is a victim of abuse. She was abused, but she's also a perpetrator of abuse. So she started calling mum and dad. She started calling Pedro and Ola Dimenji mum and dad, to make them seem softer, right? Because all three of them had shit going on. Ola Dimenji was cheating in Nigeria and married another woman. Ade Pedro was running around like a monkey for all her life. And then Lola went and got pregnant, and then came back and thought that everything's gonna be a happy family. Meanwhile, myself, Titi, and Thomas don't even have a life. We're barely building our life, and in the middle. We should have been the center of the conversations in the family. The three younger children now need to be the center of the attention because none of them can drive and none of them have their own home. I've just finished college. Titi's going up to university. He's gonna have to go up to university, and Thomas is going to school. So we have to be the ones that to be focusing all of their energy on. So all of that got kicked out the window, and Lola doesn't do anything to help her own siblings. I don't know if she even has a relationship with Thomas. I'm gonna be frank. I don't know what relationship she has with her own brother, with her own younger brother. She barely even calls her sister, Titi. I don't know what relationship she has with her siblings. And a smart person, do you think a smart person would be like, oh, where my sisters and brother are dictates my own wealth, because I need to be able to put myself in their houses when I need to. I also need to put my children in their houses when I need to. We need to be able to access each other's houses. And we've come from a flat, living in a council flat, 2 council flats. The first one was a 2-bedroom council flat on the 3rd floor. The second one was a 3-bedroom on the 3rd floor. And the 3rd room wasn't that big. The house is not that big. The house cannot accommodate us, right? Then we moved to Irif. She barely had a bedroom. Lola barely had a bedroom. She was using a garage. It was a room that was meant to be a garage. She was using it as a bedroom. And the top bedrooms upstairs were all small. The house in Irif wasn't all that. The only thing I had was a big kitchen. Fonke's mum that was there, Kemi's mum, the Balos, they were there. The tennis family in Nigeria, they were all there. You can see that the house, the biggest thing was the kitchen, and the conservatory was for my dad, the office. That was the house. So the first thing that needed to happen was that Omalola needs to move. She shouldn't have come back to London. You can't stay here. You have to go and find an auntie or uncle to live with, or a friend to live with temporarily, and find your way. She had the audacity to turn to me in 2025 and say, I don't know why you can't make it on your own. I don't know why you can't do this on your own. I don't know why you can't do this. I don't know, like, as if Lola did anything by herself. As if Lola ever did a single thing on her own. Lola's never done a single thing on her own. And she has the audacity. She has the audacity to tell me that I should do things on my own. I should make it on my own. Titi should have also been the next focus. And you know what? I see Titi as the middle child, because Titi's mindset blows up the whole family. When Titi's a fool, the whole family's upset. There are things that sometimes she would say in the car, or she would say outside, say it in the house or in the dining room. Titi's annoying, annoying. And it got to the point, as she got older, everybody can hear her annoying, hear that she's annoying. My dad, my father, my mother, no, my father, Lola could even hear it, because them two used to they used to be best friends up until the age of about 9 years old. Lola and Titi were like best friends, and then Lola couldn't stand what she was saying half the time anymore. And even as a grown up, she was getting way up into her 20s. She was still talking like a fool, saying foolish things past the age of 17, 18, 19, talking like a rat. Past the age, she's old, and her whole Thomas doesn't even speak to Titi. What conversation does Thomas and Titi have? What conversations does Thomas and Titi have? They barely talk. They barely talk. This is what I'm talking about. Titi's independent. Titi should have been independent. She came back. Titi should have been the next one to focus on independence. And even Omalola should have helped her. So that was this other bit that I wanted to add about Titi. But Lola, this is what I'm talking about Omalola. Omalola will be rolling her neck in everybody else's business. And your own family, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to sort out. Your own family. Lola will be opening up her mouth about what needs to be done, and here, and I need this, and I need this for my child, and I need this for my child. And yet your siblings are still living with your sick mother. And you don't know that, and you don't know that their independence will also help you as well. You don't know how everybody's house, everybody having a home of their own, and independence, and counselling, and health and medical needs will help the whole family. Do you know that this life is not going to continue with Ola Demeji and Peju? Do you know that they're going to be gone? Once they're gone, what would you have left? What are you going to have left? Your Hatton family. Your Hatton family. Your Kent family. Your Kent self. What are you going to have? What are you going to have, Titi Layo? You're going to have your Lara. Is Lara going to be inviting you to every birthday and Christmas? Is she going to be coming to your studio in Dartford forever?